Hey sweet people, how's it going? It's time for a quick coffee break and some inspiration on brand building and content strategy. My name is Marc T and this is the Creative Coffee Break. Today's episode is the second podcast snack on strategic storytelling. If you're an entrepreneur, a brand owner, or an artist and you want to build a brand for yourself, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to talk about finding your brand core story. Before we start, a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is presented by Rösternest, German for Roaster's Nest. This family-owned coffee roastery offers a variety of carefully handcrafted specialty blends. High-quality beans and a gentle individual roasting makes Rösternest coffee a real taste experience. Today, I'm drinking Le Petillon, a slightly acidic filter coffee with the fresh aroma of green apples and melon. With the promo code Sweetspot10, listeners of this podcast get 10% off of any order until October 31st. Visit rösternest.de and use promo code Sweetspot10 and have yourself a creative coffee break. All info in the show notes. And now let's start with our creative coffee break.
Freshly brewed inspiration, delicious news, and hot tips to wake up your brand building. This is the Creative Coffee Break with Marc T.
All right, sweeties, let's do this. After covering the ROI, the return on invest of storytelling and content strategy in the first part of this mini-series, today it's time to start finding and defining your brand core story. What's important about this is that we're talking strategy and creativity here. Two fields which are both highly individual and which every brand will find different answers for. So what I can do is give you some examples, some tools, and most importantly, help you ask the right questions. So what is your brand core story? It's 1 to 3 sentences that define what your brand actually stands for, who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and how you will perform. Based on this core story, you will develop a variety of copywriting strategies, campaigns, and other storytelling formats. So this core story is incredibly important for your brand and the long-term strategy and success. Let me give you some examples for core story from different industries and different brands. There's a company producing commercial dishwashers. I think they're called Hubbard, and they're driven by innovation. They build new machines that are eco-friendly by using less water, but steam and stuff like that. So their brand core story, their statement is washing dishes without water, which sounds crazy at first, but we're talking on a vision level here. What drives them? It's focused on technology, on innovation, and it is a brand-centered statement. Another example is a luxury beauty brand that I work with that has the core story to help its customers simply feel beautiful by finding their individual beauty routine with consulting and the right product. So you see, this is a very emotional statement. It's a customer-centered approach. For artists, their brand story looks and sounds a bit different. In most cases, it's about the art and the intention behind it. Oftentimes it's a statement on why they bring art into the world or what they want the audience to feel and experience with the artworks. So you see, your core story can be brand-based, revolving around products and services, or it can be an intention, as it is very often with artists. Anyway, the core story revolves around the question of why your brand does what it does. You can use, for example, the golden circle as it was established by Simon Sinek. He puts the why at the very heart of your brand story. To quote him, people don't buy what you do, but why you do it. There are many examples to prove him right. Most famously, Apple with Think Different, which is a statement about their users and their creative success. Many more companies work with that. Tesla makes their drivers feel part of a sustainability and tech revolution. Or a lot of sports and lifestyle brands make you feel more active and healthy by simply buying their products. So you can imagine this golden circle is 3 concentric circles. The innermost circle is why, then how, and the most outside one is what. And most brands actually communicate from the outside in. It's what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. But according to Simon Sinek, and also in my experience, the most successful brands start with the why. They really tell you why they provide the services or the products they do, and what makes you successful by using them, how you can align with the why of the company, because this resonates on a much deeper level with your audience and really keep them coming back and identify with your brand. To understand this concept better, I want to introduce a theory of interpassivity by the Austrian philosopher and cultural scientist Robert Pfaller. This deserves its own deep dive, but in short, interpassivity is a term from media studies that refers to the phenomenon whereby a piece of art or technology seems to act on the audience's or user's behalf. It's the opposite of interactivity. For example, that's why people in big cities buy overpriced and impractical SUVs, because those cars promise safety and symbolize status. So in order to find the why of your brand and build a core story around it, ask yourself what need of your audience you can address, which problems you can solve, and how to resonate with their needs. And that's the most important step in finding a sustainable and long-lasting core brand story. The foundation of that are well thought out buyer personas, detailed profiles of your customers and audience, as well as your brand values and your unique tonality. All of that is part of the invisible side of your brand, the strategic fundamentals, which come way before you start branding, logo design, UX, or UI design. So in order to find your core brand story, define your audience, your values, what you stand for as a brand, and combine them in a statement that takes into account interpassive consumer motives. In the upcoming episode, I'll talk more about audience profiles like buyer personas and many more tools that you can use build your storytelling strategy. So if you want to learn more and find help to build an outstanding brand, visit my website sweetspot-studio.com and check out my workshops or coaching. That's it, sweet people. Coffee break is over for today. Have a great week, and I'll hear you on the sweet side.
This podcast is produced by Sweetspot Studio. New episodes each week, wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you enjoyed the show, leave a rating and subscribe to never miss an episode. Find out more at sweetspot-studio.com.